In our last video, you may have seen we were in Vivlos, Greece, which was a beautiful little island. We loved our time there. What you didn't see was that we actually spent a week on the island of Crete, which is the largest Greek island, I believe. It's like 6 hours to get from side to side. And honestly, we just took the week to relax. I had a bit of a knee injury, and so we didn't do a lot of filming there. But this week we are in Naxos, which is the largest island in the Cycladic Greek islands group. It's an interesting mix of beautiful beaches and mountainous terrain. There's so much to see here from what I've heard, and we're going to try to do as much as we can in the few days that we're here. But to get started, we want to show you guys this amazing Airbnb that we're staying in while we're in Naxos. I don't even know how I discovered this gem. The backyard area is like amazing. I'm so excited to show you guys what it looks like. The inside is also great. So we're gonna do a little bit of a tour, and that way if you guys are coming like with a group to Naxos, this could be a perfect stay. So let me give you guys a tour of this villa. So if you're wondering where this villa is located on Naxos, it's right near a beach called Airbnb, which is on the western side of Naxos, and it's actually very close to the port city of Chora, where you take the ferry into. So if you're coming in, obviously it's like probably really convenient to be right in Chora, but if you have a rental car, I think it was only like a 17-minute drive from Chora, so you're still close to tons of restaurants. The beach down here at Airbnb also has some really good restaurants. We walked down there earlier, so there's still a lot to do in the area here. So this is more of a traditional style villa in Europe, where you'll have like two buildings that kind of have a shared outside space, but we're actually not sharing this villa with anybody. This is where we're staying, in this building behind me. And over here is another building that they're actually still renovating inside on the off season, and they said their plan is to eventually have it all done and be like just a kind of a large place for people to stay that are like if they're having a destination wedding and they have a large family that they need to accommodate. So eventually this will be able to house, like, what did he say? I mean,
18 people?
18 people. So yeah, this is going to be so if you're coming with a big group, this could be a really good option. But I'm going to start off with the probably like the showstopper of this villa, which is the pool and just whole outside space. So let's go take a look. So you guys have really had that happen before, where you book an Airbnb and the pictures online look amazing, and then you get there and it's like, not exactly what I was picturing. This Airbnb does not fit that description. Honestly, it actually exceeded my expectations. This outside living space, I was looking at pictures online and was just so amazed with how beautiful it is, and it's even more beautiful in person. So you have a really big pool right in the middle, and then surrounding it is this like river that, if you look, it's actually constantly running and moving water, and it has this like rock feature underneath, so it just kind of creates this ambiance and relaxation because you constantly hear the running water, and you can relax on all of the chairs and seating that you have out here. There are hammocks, there are lounge chairs for tanning on, bean bags, couches, there's an outside kitchen. So where the villa sits, we actually have a really amazing view, and this is from the ground level. We're not like really, like, we're not on the top level or anything, but I don't know if you guys can see, but we have the view of the mountains in the distance, all of the white buildings. You can actually see the water if you look out far enough, and it's like a complete 180 just like view of this beautiful landscape here in Naxos, and we kind of just get a view of it constantly. I feel like a lot of times on these Greek islands, there are like these places that are really popular for people to go and like watch the sunset, and it gets tons of people. And here I feel like we don't even have to like fight people because we have our own spot to just watch the sunset every day. But if you think this view is cool, there's even a better view from the rooftop of the villa that I'm going to show you guys later. But let's jump on into the inside and I'll give you a tour of what that looks like. Alright, so when you first come in the house, we have the kitchen area here. It's a really nice space, and I love like the interior decorating colors that they went with. It feels like very seaside, very Greece, with the white walls and the blue accents. Our blue kitchen cabinets here, and they did these cute little like coral,
that's cute.
Yeah, little cabinet handles, and it has this cute little white whirlpool oven, which is probably new, but it has that like old European appliance
feel, doesn't it?
That's
cute.
You have a little dining area, so it's enough to seat 6 people, so it'll definitely work for our party. And they left all this fruit for us, well, minus the bananas, but they left all this fruit for us too. Right off the kitchen, we have the living room with a cute little couch that matches the blue, and we have our guests here.
Anybody notice that Kati matches the couch?
Yeah, you're like the same color. Did you plan that?
Yeah, I looked it up before we came. This place has like an elegant feel about it, but it still feels homey and comfortable.
Yeah, it's like, I like that it's like comfortable, and we finally have like a nice area where we can all sit and watch TV. And then right off the living room, you also have these nice glass like French doors, so you can open up and get a breeze if you want to. So this house essentially has like 3 floors to it. So you have 2 bedrooms on the top level, and you have 2 bedrooms in like the basement essentially. They don't really call it a basement here, but it is like mostly underground. And then on the main level is where you have like the living room and kitchen, but there is a full bath on the main level here. So I think they did an excellent job with the design of these bathrooms because it has that like old Greek cave charm kind of feel to it. And if you guys can see above me, there's like some sort of accent light situation going on, which is cool. So we're now downstairs on the lower level in one of the bedrooms that are down here. So this bedroom has 2 twin beds and a couch, and it's actually a really spacious room, super nice. And they gave you quite a bit of closet space. All right, and the other bedroom on the downstairs, we have a double bed, tons of more closet space, and this bedroom also does have the same little alcove nook where you can go and stand out, get some natural light, get some sun coming in. And then there's also a bathroom down here. It's a little bit smaller than the other ones, but it's still really nice. The shower's super nice. All right, now we're on the top floor, and this is one of the bedrooms. It has 2 twin beds, closet space, lots of natural light, and actually a really good view from the window. And there's a door behind me, and what that does is if you go out there, it actually connects to that other villa that will eventually be available. So it'll be super cool once that's open if you book this Airbnb and you have a big group staying here, because you can just like, you don't even have to go to ground level to get across the village. You can just go out this bedroom and walk right over there. And also from that little bridge in between them is a really pretty view. All right, wrapping it up is the final bedroom up here on the top level. So this is where Will and I are sleeping. It has a double bed. And then what's really cool is it has a little balcony that you can go stand out on, look down at your gorgeous pool, look out over the beautiful view and everything. But even though we are very lucky to have this balcony, all of us can get the most amazing view from the roof, and we're going to show you guys that last. Also, real quick, I want to mention that our check-in process was amazing. We didn't meet the host here, but we met the property manager, David, and he met us and gave us a whole tour of the property, showed us, you know, basically everything we needed to know. And the best thing was he gave us a ton of recommendations for things to do in the area, the best things to see, the best restaurants. So when you come up to the very rooftop, I can't even like express how beautiful this view is. I'm gonna have to put a drone shot in here so you guys can just experience this. But it is 360 views of Naxos, and you kind of get to see all the terrain, the farmland, the mountains. You can see Kouros over there, which, by the way, I thought that was just another part of Naxos. No, that's another island right there in the Cycladic group. It's beautiful up here. The sun is coming down right now, and this is one of the best places you can watch the sunset in Naxos, and we have it all to ourselves. Well, that wraps up our tour of this beautiful Airbnb in Naxos. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you're planning a trip to Greece yourself and you think you're going to be coming to Naxos, I'll make sure to put a link to this Airbnb down below so that you guys can check it out.
Today we are driving around the whole island of Naxos. So similar to like what we did in Vivlos, we're trying to get an earlier start to hit everything that we want to. This is the largest island in the Cycladic island group, and we are gonna check out some beaches, some ruins, and just some like really old towns. This island has so much software. We were going over some stuff with our Airbnb host, and I'm so excited for this day. So let's jump in the car and get going.
So before we start the day, we had to stop and get a coffee. So we're in the little village of Vivlos, and we stopped at a coffee shop called Artos Lagogiani, and they had a lot of really good looking pastries in there and desserts and cakes, little mini ice creams and everything. But Yeah, we got a whole bag. We got a
Might
whole
have
bag
gone
of
a little
treats.
overboard for breakfast, but these bakeries always look so good.
Yeah. And I got what I've been getting here for coffee is just an iced latte, and I tell them to make it extra sweet because what I will say is if you haven't been to Europe before, you will be in shock with how strong the coffee is here. And so I have been getting used to it. And so when I first got here, it tasted really, really strong. But now I'm starting to get used to it and I actually really enjoy it. But I'm still a little bit baby compared to Europeans with their coffee. So I get an iced latte and get extra sugar in it. And this one's actually really good. So we're about to jump in the car, eat our breakfast, and then head to the next village. All right, now we're over in the town of Melanace, which is a big quarry area in Naxos. So Naxos is actually known for their marble, and a lot of marble has been excavated from the island, exported to Greece and other parts of Europe. And even back in ancient times, these quarries that were here were big with taking marble out to use for different statues and buildings. And so the funny thing is that in the process of moving a lot of this marble out, a lot of times they would do the rough shape here at the quarry before they sent it out, and then kind of refine it once it was out of this area and shipped out of here. Well, in the process of moving some of these out, they got damaged. And so there's actually two statues here, two like supernaturally large men statues, where it's evident that the legs broke during the transportation process out of here. And so instead of taking it out, they just left it here. And so now there's two marble statues missing legs that are just kind of like laying here and were dumped. So the interesting thing is, like I mentioned, Naxos is known for their marble exports. And so you'll see later today we're going to a little village where the streets are made out of marble. So that'll be interesting to see. But what's cool is right now where we are here in the quarry area, there's just tons of marble stone around us. And you almost wouldn't, realize it's marble because it's very obviously like dirty from being out. It's not like gonna look like your marble countertops, but you can kind of tell up here that's a little cleaner.
Oh, yeah, good point.
See, you can see that that's marble. Yep. So
it's interesting. It just needs a good power washing.
Yeah, it needs to be shaped and molded and power washed and put in your kitchen.
Right.
Alright, we are now in the village of Chalkio, which actually used to be the old capital of Naxos. And because of that, the buildings here are a little bit different than the style that you see around most of the island. So instead of getting those like bright white buildings with the blue shutters and doors, you see more of like the Venetian style, kind of like behind me. So it actually has more of like an Italian feel here. And there's some cool restaurants and shops here. But one of the most famous things to do is go to the Citron Distillery. Citron is the liquor that is famous in Naxos that's made here from citrus trees. So I think we're gonna go to the distillery, try some of the Citron liquor, and just kind of explore the village a little bit. Something else cool about this village that our Airbnb host was telling us about is that years ago it used to be more abandoned. There wasn't a lot going on here, but there wasn't it a couple, he said, that came to this village, and I think the wife is a ceramic maker, and she's made ceramics for one of the Olympics, and I forget what the husband did, but
the 2004 Olympics.
But and the husband did something else. I don't remember if it was a restaurant or what in the village, but basically they really built the town back up to what it is now, where it's more of an attraction to come here, and there's lots of restaurants and shops and everything. So they really like revitalized this old town. So now we're over at the Vivlos, hopefully I'm saying it right, Vivlos Distillery, and it's a family that's been making the Citron or Citron liquor here since 1896, I believe, and they were the exclusive makers of the liquor. And we actually just learned kind of how they make it, which is interesting, is they take the leaves from the Citron plant, not the actual fruit. And so a Citron plant is kind of like a lemon tree. It's in the same family, but it grows solely in the Mediterranean area. So they take the actual leaves and then they distill it, they boil it in alcohol, and so the alcohol takes on the flavor of the Citron. And it takes about 10 hours, she said, from start to finish to get the final product. So I believe we're gonna sample some, and it should be kind of like, you know, like a lemon alcohol taste. So, but it's really cool to see their whole distilling process here. And this distillery machine here actually is still used today, which is crazy. So we're gonna go try some. So she was saying that the different colors, so you have clear, green, and yellow, and they only have the color difference from food coloring just to help them distinguish the difference in the strength. So the green is the weakest, it's the 30%, clear is 33%, and the yellow is the strongest at 36%. So I got the weakest because I'm kind of past my shot days. Cheers, Kathy.
Oh, I can't get both of you. Strong.
It's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. I actually like the flavor of it. It definitely has like that citrus, a lemon kind of flavor, but you can tell that it's like slightly different than lemon. Like it's almost like
mint lemon. That's what I taste.
really. I taste in between lemon and lime. It is strong though.
Is it?
I'm not used to doing shots, so it's like. Buddy.
Want to give him some?
You can. Like I just take some of his lips. Yeah. That's really gentle.
Yeah, good. You like taste this valley?
Earlier we got to see where a lot of the marble was excavated basically, and now we're in the city, which is called, it's really hard to pronounce, Aperianthos? Is that right?
No.
What is it?
I think it's Aperianthos.
Aperianthos. There we go. And we're calling this like the Marble City because it's just like not all, but a lot of that marble that they were excavating came here. So you can see it's marble-lined streets, steps, everything like that. And so what's also really unique is this is a really old village here, right? And there's about 1,100 inhabitants. A lot of them came from the island of Crete, which is where we were last week. And it's really cool because if you listen to their dialect, they even have like a little bit of a different dialect in their language and the way that they talk. And if you have an ear for it, you can trace that back to originally coming from Crete.
So you can definitely tell the age of this village by some of the structures here. So behind me, it almost looks like a little castle, doesn't it?
It really
I don't actually know what's behind me. I have seen it in pictures of this village, but it literally looks like a castle built out of stone, and it might be actually marble stone that built it. But yeah, like all the sidewalks we're walking on right now are like all these marble squares. It's really cool. But I did tell Will that if it rained here, which it was kind of starting to rain earlier, you'd have to be careful because it'd be very slick to walk on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the nice thing is too, we're perched kind of like with this amazing view out over the mountains. As you're walking through the village, you're just like constantly getting these like breathtaking views. And we're going to a restaurant later that's right down the street that is known to have like, I think the best view of Naxos like in the whole island. So I was really excited we got a table there and we're gonna get to enjoy a nice early dinner. So this place is literally like a maze. We went off of the main street and I'm like, you could easily get lost here.
And
I thought, no, we're lost. And we like turned, we came down here and I'm like, oh, this looks like it goes back to the main street. But I don't think it does. And like, look how narrow this is. Okay, I feel like this might be somebody's house.
Look, these are steps up.
No, I'm not. So cute.
Is it?
I know, Andre have to dry. Oh, this is so cute. Like you guys want like an authentic Greek village experience, you need to come here.
Oh yeah.
Because you could just like, and there's so many little like streets and nooks and crannies, and like cute little doorways. So we're at this really beautiful restaurant called Rotunda, just down from the village we were just at, and it's known to have the most sweeping views of the island of Naxos. It's a straight 180 view. You can see the mountains and you can see all the way over to the water. So far the food has been really good. I got a spaghetti dish that has like parsley pesto, I think, and pine nuts and tomato confit.
I forget what I got, but it's what do you remember what I got?
Linguine
with chicken
and peppers.
Yep.
So the bees are really bad here. So we told them, and they brought us out this container of like burning Greek coffee, because apparently it keeps the bees away.
I feel like it's already gone.
One came near and flew away.
Like, oh no, not the Greek coffee. I would take Italian, but not Greek. Alright, tonight we are back in the port city of Chora, and we are witnessing one of the most iconic sunsets in Greece. We are up at the Temple of Apollo, which is this crazy like door-like ruin that is left from what I read like as an unfinished ancient building that they were working on, and then it never got finished, and all that's left now is this door out on this peninsula that you can only get to from this thin little piece of land that comes out from the mainland of Naxos. And it's a beautiful view. It's very popular to come here at sunset because you can kind of get perched up high. You can see the statue here with the sunset in the background, and also it will cast a beautiful like orange glow over the white buildings of Chora. So it's one of the most popular things to do in Naxos, and as you can see, it's become a little bit touristy.
Oh yeah.
We actually came by here like last night, and Will and I had to park the car, so we didn't make it, so the rest of the family saw it. So tonight we're seeing it. But it's one of those things, like, I would definitely do it. Like, if you're in Naxos, you might as well come here and do it. Probably the earlier you get here before sunset, the better. Maybe you can get like a spot that's perfect in front of the doorway.
For parking too.
Yeah, and parking is difficult because I think the thing to do is people will come here, get their beautiful photo, get their iconic Naxos photo, and then they'll go back into town for dinner because everyone's dressed up for dinner. We just ended up coming right down from the mountain. We had like a late lunch, or really an early dinner. Yeah. Came and did this, and then we're gonna get dessert. We're gonna go to the Waffle House. But I'm gonna give you guys. What am I gonna do now? Not my shot. Not my shot. Not my shot. Not my shot.
That the other day? Yeah, oh, that was good. Okay, I'll get that.
And it doesn't mean it's that specific stuff. The other ones that are
almost more like prawns of lamb, you know.
And we stopped at a place called Artos. I cannot remember that. It's like Fabrokli Zalami. But apparently, you know, I've never been on live television before. I couldn't resist.
And apparently.
And apparently, never been on like television before. Apparently. You guys see this like big cliff to jump down to the water?
How you feeling, Jen?
This Naxos.
Huh?
This Naxosian. This Naxian wine is fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, have fun!
Okay, Jen, so in one of our last videos, we talked about American Express and how great the points were. Right? We've been using our American Express because they don't charge a foreign transaction fee.
Right.
Right? So it makes sense and we'll pay it off when we get home. But what did American Express email you today?
I got an email this morning. It was like something along the lines of like, hey, looks like you're having a great time in Greece. Don't want to bug you or anything. You are past due. You think I won't do it? You think I won't?
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't do it.
I was really gonna do it, and then I just like, as soon as I got to the water's edge, I'm like, do I really want to
Well,
be
why
wet?
don't you jump in this?
I really just want to grab a bite. Grab a bite.
They're softer.
It's Nutella, it's not chocolate.
Okay, Bob.